de YouTube de Kevin Allocca. Él es director de Trends de Google a nivel mundial. Y algo importante, es una persona que le da seguimiento a los videos más populares en YouTube en todo el mundo y busca las tendencias. Supervisa el proyecto YouTube Trends y dirige el equipo de programación de YouTube. Es uno de los expertos más grandes del mundo sobre YouTube en la intersección de video con la web y la cultura global. Y a menudo es citado por diversos medios de comunicación en temas de viralidad, la popularidad en Internet y noticias de última hora. Anteriormente fue redactor en mediabistro.com y fue escritor y productor en el sitio The Huffington Post. Bienvenido. Welcome.
Gracias. So, this should be. Did I lose it? This should be one. This thing keeps going. Well, all right. Do you want to just give me that? I'll take, yeah. Okay, so this should be one of the fun ones today, I hope. The manual, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we good? This is the big leagues, when you get to have 2 microphones at the same time. Okay, so this should, as I was saying, this should be the fun one because we're going to talk a lot about YouTube today, and I'm not going to bore you with nuts and bolts of YouTube. We're going to talk about YouTube as a place of culture and things that happen on the site each day, which I have the luxury of getting to follow. So I am the trends manager based in New York City for YouTube, and I oversee our community and social for YouTube as well as the YouTube Trends project. And so the whole idea is it's simple but complicated thing, which is understanding what's happening on YouTube each day, and trying to sort of place a pulse on this conversation that's happening on our website from all over the world each day. So why is this so hard, you might ask? So over 72 hours of video get uploaded to YouTube every minute. You may have heard that stat before. That means that, yes, that's more than 1 hour of video every second. And this all came from one very simple idea, which was just making video simpler and easier to share. And now we're starting to see all these crazy impacts of that very, very basic technology. Now, there are a lot of different ways that videos get views on YouTube. But within everything, there's one very specific kind of video that people ask me about constantly. And I understand why. And that is the question of how do things go viral? What is viral and how do things go viral? We're fascinated by this idea. And because I'm the trends guy, everybody is constantly asking me about this. And I think that the creative advertising community needs to have an intervention on this whole thing because there's an obsession about it. And the thing is that most people can't actually explain what that really means. And I'll show you my favorite video that explores that. Did we lose sound?
Yeah, I've heard the term.
What does that mean?
Yeah, let's try it again.
Have you heard of the term viral video?
Of course. Oh, yeah, I've heard the term.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's contagious.
Not by a professional, that for some reason gets extremely popular.
Millions and millions of people watch it. It went viral, just like they said with Justin Bieber's.
Why do they call it a viral video?
It's not from the word virus, because that would be illness.
But what does a virus do?
A virus spreads. Oh!
Oh! A lot of differing opinions there. But from my perspective, I don't think any of those people are technically wrong with this whole thing, right? There is no specific definition of what viral means, and I think that frustrates some people. It's really just, at its core, it's a shorthand for a new entertainment, news, and sometimes even education consumption entertainment pattern that we've never had possible before. It's only possible now because we have this technology to easily consume, react, and share things. We can't describe it, right? But we seem to know it when we see it. I think that everybody sort of feels this way about it, who doesn't work in the industry. It's everybody's talking about it online, and it usually, but not always, starts on the web. And you know, I think that that's not a surprising reaction, because videos by their nature are very social, they're very community driven, we know that. But the problem is that since it's not specific, there's not like a bunch of steps you could take and voila, you have your viral video. So instead, I want to think about it as just this hallmark of this new media that we have that we should all be very, very excited about, because there are a lot of things that can be learned from that phenomenon. Now, some of these videos I am going to assume you've probably seen before, but I think today we're not going to think about them as just entertainment. We're going to think about them as a way of viewing sort of the commonalities between them. So we're going to talk about two things. One, how did the most popular videos get so popular? And then two, what are some real lessons we can actually take away from some of these big videos that everybody's familiar with? So.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Woo! Oh wow!
So that's Bear Vasquez, is that guy's name, and he captured in 2010 this incredible moment outside of his home in Yosemite National Park, and it got 23 million views that year. This is what a chart of what the views look like on that video, and you know, this is Bear. This is the guy who made the video, and you know, he didn't intend to actually make a viral video. He just wanted to share this spiritual experience he had with the Earth. And I know this because he told me at length all about his theories on that. So the interesting thing, though, is that he actually posted this all the way back in January. And so, you know, what happened in this you know, to create this big spark? And he says he owes it all to Jimmy Kimmel, who's an American TV host, and he was one of the first people to post about this video on Twitter. And this is the tweet that he posted. Now, soon after. Soon after people began sharing it, they started making remixes of it, and it became a classic, a video people still to this day watch regularly because it's nostalgic and unique and funny for them. I was very fortunate enough to give a presentation at TED about this whole viral thing. People ask about it so much. And so the three things that I think, when pressed, if you had to say these are the three things that I think make a viral video, I would say, you know, it's tastemakers, it's communities of participation, and it's this idea of unexpectedness. But we're going to dive in a little bit deeper to those three ideas today and actually try to like take out what is something that you can actually learn from some of these things. So I'm going to be upfront and say that tastemakers are not essential to the spread of a video. In fact, there's a lot of data that shows that individual person-to-person sharing drives a massive number of viewing. But the tastemakers thing is very, very common with the most like popular of all time sort of viral videos, because what they do is they allow for this idea of spreading those videos very quickly to a larger audience because they have those large followings. And you know, I contend that anybody can be a tastemaker. It doesn't need to be like, you know, Jimmy Kimmel or something. You know, sometimes it's celebrities, sometimes it's people who are experts, sometimes it's whole communities and websites. But I think what's important is that trusted point of view that you place in those sources helps drive it to a larger audience. So this whole phenomenon, this whole idea took a big turn in March, which was a year after the Rebecca Black phenomenon, which is also very interesting, and I'm happy to talk about that at length another time. But a nonprofit leveraged this idea in a way that stunned, I think, every expert in this field.
To level with you, this movie expires on December 31st, 2012. And its only purpose is to stop the rebel group, the LRA, and their leader, Joseph Kony. And I'm about to tell you exactly how we're going to do it.
So, Kony 2012, right? It's this short activist film about a warlord in Uganda, and it got 30 million views in one day. And nothing I've seen has ever come close to that. That's a 30-minute documentary about something that is quite complicated. Just to give you a sense of scale, this is Double Rainbow, right? We looked at that a second ago. This is Rebecca Black compared to Double Rainbow, right? And you can see this conversation around Rebecca Black really like stirred that up. This is Kony 2012. And so you ask, like, how did they achieve this, right? And they actually directly targeted some of the most influential people on the web. 5 of the top 15 most followed social media accounts posted this all in a span of 24 hours. So we're talking like Oprah, Justin Bieber, Rihanna. And the effect was this like critical mass of attention that made it a phenomenon that the news media or any of us could just not seem to ignore. And so what happens is that this individual or group of taste-making individuals took this point of view and they shared it with their audience, accelerating the process. And it became a pop culture phenomenon that a lot of people had an opinion on they wanted to discuss. So I think, when you ask yourself, what is to be learned here? And it's not to, get Justin Bieber to tweet your video. I mean, if you could, then you should just leave now because you've solved the viral puzzle. But most people, that doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't, it's unrealistic, and you don't actually need that giant crazy spike to have a video that's very successful and popular with people. I tell people that when you're actually creating things, you need to be thinking about how influential people in communities will respond, and think about like this is basic PR stuff, how it's like how are you going to get this thing discovered, and sometimes people just buy ads on YouTube to get their video discovered. But what's important is that you have to get it out and promote it, and then you have this community sharing thing. So back to Coney for a second. So you have 30 million views, right, on a 30-minute documentary about a very complicated situation in Africa. But the most popular demographic with this video is females 13 to 17 years old. And they weren't just watching it, I would argue, that because it's what Justin Bieber had tweeted. I mean, that's certainly a part. But they were also sharing it themselves. And so why did this happen? It made people feel like they were part of a larger phenomenon, a larger movement, and part of a larger group. And so what's happened is that as technology advances, the world gets smaller, and the sort of creator-audience connection gets a lot tighter. And this two-way communication format has evolved and like presented all kinds of really unique means for creative expression. And so suddenly, everyone has partial ownership in our shared pop culture. So this is Nyan Cat. How many people have never seen this before? So I know. Okay, not too many. And I'm not saying that this is like you're missing out on this, but I think it's one of the most fascinating videos on YouTube, actually. So it's a looped animation with a looped tune, and it's been played over 80 million times. It was one of the most viewed videos of last year. And there's a 10-hour version of this that has like 17 million views. There's all these things. So what's the backstory here? So the animation was created by this guy named Chris Torres, and then and it was based on his own cat named Marty. And so then a student that he had never met before combined his animated image with this Japanese Vocaloid, that's the genre of music, a Vocaloid song, and posted it. And this is how I think most people react to seeing it for the first time.
I think I got the idea.
How long does this last?
Well, I keep waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Is it going to keep going, or does it change colors or anything?
Is this supposed to hypnotize me or something?
Is it a way to test monitors to see how long it takes for someone to break it?
It's like an old record that the needle got stuck. Please stop.
I can't take any more of this.
Yes. But that one would be very sad to learn that it didn't stop at all, right? We started seeing other remakes of it. And people were making these like, dance remixes. And now there are 100,000 Nyan videos on YouTube, including one for every almost every country you can think of. But sometimes the creative ways that people interacted with this were actually not so silly and were quite beautiful. And so most most people really struggle and can't explain this behavior at all, right? The whole idea of remix, of participatory entertainment is very new, and it's confusing if you're not familiar with the way the web culture is going. But it exemplifies what's possible now. So let's talk about advertising for a second. So in the world of advertising, we're definitely starting to see these developments playing out. So this is an ad that I think a lot of people have probably seen.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
So of course, this kind of went beyond just being an ad, right? It struck this chord, and it developed this whole community. They launched a social media campaign where they, with videos, where they're creating 180 videos in 3 days, which a lot of people might have seen them doing this, and those videos were seen 75 million times. And many of these were really targeted at celebrities and brands with big social media accounts, but it was actually, the main thing to take away there is it's actually just a piece of entertainment, and it's one that people wanted to be a part of. And there are 3,000 Old Spice parodies on YouTube.
Hello, ladies.
Look at your man.
Now look at me. Back to your man.
Now back to me.
Sadly, he isn't me.
But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me.
Look down.
Back up.
You're on the set of Will It Blend with the man your man could blend like.
What's in your hands?
I've got it.
It's a broom to clean your room.
Look again.
The water is now wine.
Anything is possible when your man smells like World of Warcraft bar soap.
I am on a horse. Moo. Cow.
So let's be real for a second, though. I mean, not everybody's going to go around making homegrown versions of your video. But if your aim is to engage with people, then the community aspect of it, that your community must participate in some way. You must give them something to work from. So, I think I ask everybody to think about how and why you personally share things, right? You're invested in them in some ways because they're entertaining, or you feel some sense of identity, or maybe sometimes it's just vanity. You want people to see what you're sharing, and a lot of times it's really emotionally driven. Everybody wants, and sometimes it's about adding new perspectives and things. That's the whole story of Rebecca Black and why she was so popular. But everybody wants to be the guy who has the cool new thing or the interesting thought. That's all of us, and I think that there's value for them in the act of sharing, and understanding that is important. So, all right, you've got, when you have an hour of video uploaded per second, that is only the things that are really, truly unique and unexpected can have the kind of impact of something like that. And so let's stick with the ads thing. So this is how razor blades were sold to men for most of my life.
Sometimes you need a little push to let go of your Mach 3 razor until you discover Gillette Fusion. It has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation. Switch to Gillette Fusion, Gillette's most comfortable shave.
You see, 5's better than 3. Not at all. Yeah, but in real sports, whatever.
Right, so you got a bunch of celebrities in there. You got some interesting visuals. But then earlier this year, this small startup decided to take just a totally different route with that thing.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandra, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
So that guy in that video is actually the co-founder of that company. His name's Michael Dubin, and he made that video for $4,000. And he reportedly used it to raise $1 million in seed funding before he even put it online. He almost wasn't going to post it, but he got convinced to do it, and it got 5+ million views because people connected with it. They shared it, and they lined up. He had 12,000 paying customers in the first 2 days. So, the investors in his company knew that you couldn't approach new media like an old one, right? And everyone knew that this wasn't just an ad; it was actual content, right? It was actually something to watch. But the most innovative ideas have always been the most powerful. They can take you from obscurity to fame around the world. It's actually pretty core to the mythology of YouTube. Carmen was this local band who did unconventional covers of that were really unique, and they performed in bars and streets. This is them performing on Newbury Street in Boston. So they started, posting more videos, rehearsing, and they put up more produced versions of it like this.
Do you really want to know what's next? See the way we on it when we all up in the race, and we gotta go. Don't try to.
This is one of last year's most popular videos. And then here they are earlier this year on national television performing on Saturday Night Live. And that's a place that is well known for exposing big time artists. And all that happened start to finish in less than 1 year. Because web video has given artists, creators, brands great opportunities that they never had before. And I mean creators of all kinds. This is one of my favorite videos on YouTube, actually.
My old gloves, which work mighty nice. Now I'm going to lay this on the cutting board. Be sure to cut all of the husks. That's what it should look like when you have made the cut. Then grab the husk, the silks, give a shake. There it comes out. No
So that guy's name is Ken Craig. He's 85, and his daughter insisted that he post this trick that he has for getting the corn out without the stuff on it. And he was really hoping it would get 50 views, that some people would see it that weren't in their family. And so now it has 7 million views, actually. And those views got there not in the way that we generally think of when we think about these things. The biggest demo for that video was users who are over 55 years old. And the most popular referral to that video was Yahoo Mail. And that's because, yes, your parents and your grandparents watch YouTube and they share YouTube. The tools have become very, very simple, and the action is just becoming a part of daily life for everybody. And there's not like this huge technological boundary that used to exist anymore. I think the great thing is that we actually, all of us, we help shape what's popular. Anybody can do that. And any of us who have something exciting or interesting or unique to share can get that seen by people all over the world. Even your parents and your grandparents. Some of your moms are even on YouTube. Is it load? Oh, there's a video missing. Anyway, so in 2012, you have this access to these giant audiences and communities. The geographic borders that used to restrict the things that are entertainment now have started to disappear. And that explains, in some ways, how this happened.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
So, Gangnam, if you're not familiar, is a neighborhood in Seoul. It's in Korean, but somehow this video became a global phenomenon. Psy has basically rewritten the rules for what counts to be a global pop star at this time. And I think we are all in a position on some level or another to write the new rules for what works and what don't work. And so I want to just reinforce, like, if you're starting from this place, I think you're starting in a tough place, because the best starting point to creating things is that you need to have good, interesting, authentic content, right? And think about the tastemakers and the communities and the unexpectedness, and then remember what we can learn, which is that you need to get the word out on these things. With 72 hours uploaded a minute, YouTube is a very, very big place. If your goal is to tap into a larger social conversation, you need to, you can't simply just go after views. It doesn't work like that. Your audience, everybody who's sharing these things are actual people, right, who need to be reached in some way. And they need to be able to connect with that content in some way for it to be worth it for them to share it. And I think we just need to keep forgetting how things were done in the past. Videos that are surprising and unexpected regularly succeed on YouTube. But I mean, let's be real. This is the hardest part of creativity and our growth there. So, but it is the unifying factor, the true unifying factor, behind all the most successful stuff on YouTube. So either way, I just want to remind everybody, you have to remember that we're entering this new part of history for media and how it works, and for entertainment and for advertising. One where these audiences that used to be pretty faceless have more power than ever before. And understanding that audience is critical to success on the web. So thank you. And we're going to take a few questions, I think, now, but that's all I have. So. Yes. Okay. No questions? You're still reeling from the Nyan Cat?
Hi, my name is Gabriel, and I was wondering, I was trying to upload some content to YouTube, and the main reason...
De YouTube, la razón es porque fui rechazado, porque en esta lista es porque tengo alguno audio. Tuve un audio. The Spinning Record es como música rock. Me compraron el video de otro lado.
Library of audio media, but I don't get any kind of list songs that I can try to make content with that.
Yeah. So I mean, I should just be straight up front that I don't deal with a lot of that stuff. We have a whole team that deals with those things. So, and I don't upload a ton of videos, to be honest. I like more curate and watch stuff. So like I'm not the best person for that one. I do know that we're trying pretty hard to get better at that stuff. It's like a huge technological challenge to be able to manage that stuff on a global scale. But I think every day we have new stuff coming out that hopefully will make that easier. But I wish I had a better answer on that for you. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody? No one? We can leave. Okay. Well, thanks guys.